At our first class meeting, Dr. Elwood told us we would have an international project, preferably a legacy project, something that gave back to the community. The project had to connect a local class with an international class. Jim and I decided to partner up since we had a class together previously and shared a common bond. At first we planned to do a course on aviation, since we both were connected to naval aviation training. But before we could proceed with that, we had to accomplish the hardest part of the assignment, finding our two classes. Did either of us have an international contact? I was fortunate to be acquainted with Lynn Tawia. She is originally from Memphis, Tennessee, but now lives in Ghana, Africa. She married a friend of mine who is a native of Ghana and now serves as a missionary there. I contacted Lynn and she agreed to help. She teaches several classes: Bible, social studies, and geography. She also teaches several grade levels. The one we thought would be a best fit into this assignment was her 8th grade geography class. Now to find our U.S. counterpart. I posted a request on Facebook to find a local 8th grade teacher and got 2 responses. One was an old college friend who teaches 8th grade in Amarillo. The other was a friend from church who knew an 8th grade teacher in Sinton. Sarah Mahan is an 8th grade teacher in Sinton, not far from Corpus Christi. She agreed to help with the project as well. Sarah was assisted in the technical aspect of the project by Robin Mounts, the Discovery Center coordinator at the Sinton Middle School. So now we had our 2 classes. But what does a Ghana geography class have in common with a Texas science class? Certainly not aviation. We had to rethink our subject. It had to be science as well as geography. We looked at a map to see what connections there may be, then it hit us. Hurricanes. Many hurricanes form off the western coast of Africa and travel all the way to Texas. That's geography and science. We bounced the subject off both teachers and got approval. Great. We have our classes and our subject. Now to work. We started using Weebly to build our online course. We combined several learning strategies in order to accomplish our goals. We borrowed a student-produced hurricane video from YouTube to introduce the subject on our homepage and developed WebQuest, interactive geography presentations, quizzes, and a blog to further enhance the learner's experience. Jim built the WebQuest based on the science portion and found some appropriate computer games to reinforce the WebQuest activities. Jim also produced his own YouTube video detailing the track of what was to become Hurricane Isabel in 2003, from the highlands of Ethiopia to North Carolina, and link it to the WebQuest pages. Not quite Texas, but close enough. I worked on the geography section and the social studies section. We were able to find other videos on YouTube to supplement the instructional material. We used WebQuiz to present test questions to the students. This allowed us to track how many times the student logged in and what they scored on the test. During development of the geography presentation, we discovered there were some things about it that Weebly did not support very well, and as we were nearing the completion of the online course, I moved the website to my server using Webbit and rebuilt the course there. The Sinton Junior High has a Discovery Center that is a converted school library centered around computers and technology. The facilitator, Robin Mounts, was essential to the success or failure of this project. Sarah connected us to Robin soon after volunteering, and Robin was very excited to join the team. Robin and Jim discussed the software issues and how to best coordinate between Sinton and Africa. There were some technical bugs to work out, as Sinton's web cameras were not supplying a video feed on Skype. These were all overcome in a week before the Skype side of the project got underway. Robin also designed an Accra, Ghana web page on the school's server for all the students to interact with. This was spontaneous and not part of the original project, but was very effective and useful for the students on both sides. Robin was able to link to a YouTube video showing the Ghana students shopping at their new mall, and to another video showing Sinton students participating at a local rodeo. This really helped to break the ice during the Skype sessions. Robin and Lynn did some preliminary Skype connections to make sure it was usable between the two locations and continued to test the connections after the video problem had been fixed. This testing was an important step in assuring overall success. The week before the Skype meetings, Jim met with Robin several times to help with seating arrangements, lighting for the camera, recording Skype sessions, and enhancing Skype performance. All was in readiness as the first planned Skype session drew near. When we started the project, there was a 5-hour difference between the Ghana class and the Sinton class. That was doable. Lynn got permission to move her class to the last period for that week. Sarah arranged for her class to meet at 8:30. However, we did not take into account that the week planned for interaction between the classes would occur after the daylight savings time changed. That meant the two classes would be 6 hours different. Sarah and Robin obtained permission for the students to meet at 7:40 instead. This meant some of the bus students would not be able to participate. We chose 30-minute time periods on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as the goal for our interactive time. With the dates spaced out, it would buffer us time for any unforeseen problems, which we did have. Over the weekend, the district IT department performed some maintenance on their servers, and Robin lost login permissions to her computer. Robin scrambled with IT on the phone, and we were able to get a 10 to 15-minute meeting with the Ghana class. Another problem became apparent as the connection would disconnect randomly and for no apparent reason. It was discovered that previously all contact between Texas and Africa had been done on another workstation at the Sinton Discovery Center. Because of these problems, both classes agreed to meet Tuesday to continue. On Tuesday, I brought a Ghanaian game called Owari to show the Sinton students. That was fortunate because the Ghana school lost their internet connection for an hour, which occurred as we were about to meet. The students took the disappointment well and actually enjoyed playing the new game. Once Africa's internet connection was restored, Lynn informed us that due to a last-minute assembly on Wednesday, her class would not be able to meet for that morning. Because the Africa class would not be online to watch Jim's short presentation on the Coriolis Force live, two of the Sinton's media students shot and recorded it. Jim was able to take the video home, edit it together, and upload it to YouTube. Then I attached the link to the website. The Ghana class was able to watch the video the following morning. Then we discovered that Sinton ISD had given the students that Friday off due to a girls' volleyball game that used up their bus resources. This necessitated moving the Friday session to Thursday. Fortunately, all sides were able to meet on Thursday morning. The Thursday session worked great. The workstation we used on Monday continued to exhibit problems, so we switched to the main workstation used to initially test the Skype connections. This worked out splendidly. Both classes were able to use Skype very well. Instead of talking about hurricanes and weather, they talked about music, movies, TV, and sports. The kids had a blast and learned that 8th graders were the same worldwide. Throughout this project, we had many hurdles to jump. Getting participating classes, setting up schedules, finding the right technology, dealing with IT departments, and coping with last-minute school schedule changes. We learned that Murphy's Law is alive and well and ready to live up to his law at all times. However, once everything came together on Thursday, all the stress and anxiety were well rewarded by seeing the students interact as equals and not as strangers. As it turned out, the study on hurricanes and geography took a back seat to people reaching out to one another and finding that we were not so different after all. Isn't this what education is really all about? We hope that all students can share in a similar experience at some point in their lives.